have an all-white rank. Couldn't hit if it had ain't. Lanes can't call and you lame. You had it and you lost it, all the shame. I can buy a bit.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Houston Texans. So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. A second down throw for Prescott. Being chased out left. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Bernardrick McKinney able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And that one came close to hitting the big scoreboard up there as the fair catch is made inside the 20-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 15. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Fuller brings it in over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing on third down, Watson. But he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A very solid gain of 27. Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On second down, here's Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. He introduced himself with authority on that play.
Watson on third down. He's going to float this over the middle deep. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And that is incomplete. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver. And it's second down. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go towards the sidelines as fast as the quarterback is as well. Hard for them to throttle down to leave themselves with enough room to stay in bounds and catch the ball.
Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On third down, it's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Trucks over him. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Out of the gun, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
That's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Finding room inside the 40. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Prescott on 1st down. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 4 yards on the dump off. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a handoff, running off, tackle right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
Prescott from the gun. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And his kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
On the counter, it's Miller. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That good for 19 and a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And some room to roam now. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
That's 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. They'll try the air now with Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
And, Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller punching it in from a yard away. And the Texans are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get
in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 3rd and long for Prescott. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. On 1st down, Watson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, here's Watson. Looking long for Thomas. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
3rd and 2, Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Griffin. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Watson on first down. Forced out to his left. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. The Texans on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it again with Miller. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
From the red zone now, Watson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Texans will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown. Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them. A second down throw for Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. Intended that time for Cooper. Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, Watson. There he goes inside the 30. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Watson now, operating from the gun. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Here's Prescott. Throwing right, and that's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He sets to fire deep. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. They begin with a run by Miller. He can't get him down. Lamar Miller, the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I look down at my play sheet.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Whitney Merciless in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Looking deep downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. He's dropped just inside the 20. A little second effort there, but couldn't find a whole lot of space. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now a handoff to Miller. Miller with 1st down and more. And he's brought down. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They'll go with Foreman. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there, taking it in, and the Texans will extend their lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, 75 yards. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. Again, it's Miller. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Watson on third down. He finds his target, Fuller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Big D.